Good morning. It is 9:30. Well, it's good morning here where I am. Um, and I love that this is a media where I can connect with everyone on Earth, and we're all in different time zones. I am going to set myself up as well as I can. Feel free to put in the chat if if you're hearing me okay. I hope my sound is well and my mic works. I have designed a 60-minute flow class for us that is intermediate in level. um, I always invite you to take my advice with a grain of salt. And what I mean by that is your body needs to tell you where you are today. And I ask you to listen to your body. As Clark says, your body, your yoga. So I'm giving you suggestions, um, and I want you to modify in the receiving end to what is needed in your body in that moment, in your day. And naturally, by participating, you are agree to do so at your own risk. Always take care of yourself first. So let's get started on our mats. I will be turning as I usually do, um, so that you can see me better. I know once I start standing up, it's gonna I'll need to move the mat further and so forth, so you can see my whole body. Um, so we are going to start on the floor. We will progress up. We'll do some standing poses, and we'll end on the floor again, and we'll finish with Shavasana, final resting pose to integrate the practice we've done today. The focus that I really would like you to think of today is just simply mindfulness. What does that mean? Mindfulness to me means I need to put myself on do not disturb. Um, Here we are. So hopefully I won't get any computer noise here. Um, Mindfulness to me in movement equals, um, it does equal some, um, I'm really at loss of words, intention. That you move through intention and do not rush through the sequences that I'm offering. So before we get started, let me just turn on one light, which will hopefully give a little bit more light to my face. We have a cloudy day here today. Let's get started on our mats. Find a comfortable child's pose for you. It might be that you wish to keep your knees together and just simply fold forward, or it might be inviting to you to bring your big toes to touch, open your knees a little bit wider, maybe as wide as your mat, and then just simply sinking into this pose. The first child's pose, I invite you to maybe place your hands stack one over another and place your forehead on your hands so that you can sort of start here by softening, relaxing your forehead, your third eye to the floor, and kind of raising your upper body just a little bit. Maybe you can sink into your hips a little bit deeper. And here I invite you to just maybe close your eyes and think about what is calling you today in your body, what you wish to receive on your yoga mat today. Where is it that you feel that you need support in your body? And just take all those messages in And sink into your hips. Think about the back of your heart, letting that space behind your heart, your shoulders, to soften. And maybe with your next inhale, you gently push into your hands and extend them now, if you weren't there already. And then just find your forehead to the floor and take a moment there to deepen your breath, fill the belly, and with an exhale, soften, sink, melt, ground yourself to the earth. Couple more deep breaths here. Maybe you even exaggerate the inhale, and maybe you even exaggerate the exhale by sighing out. One more deep breath in, and deep breath out. With your next inhale, gently bring your hands under your shoulders. And we're going to do a child's pose with a thread the needle. So gently take your right hand, glide it to the side from your shoulder, placing your right ear on the floor. Maybe the left hand extends overhead. Maybe it just rests on your lower back, the back of the hand on the lower back, and just breathe here. Feeling that gentle twist in your upper body while you sink in your hips and soften to the earth. And next inhale, bring your left hand close to your face and gently push into it. And let's switch sides, gliding the left hand under you and then placing that left ear on the floor. Maybe the right hand extends. Maybe you can place the back of your hand on your lower back. And just breathe there. Soften. Feel where you are connecting to the earth. And let those points soften even further. And with your next inhale, gently placing the right hand down, pushing into it, coming to all fours. And let's do just a little cat and cow. So exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling, opening the heart, softening the belly. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling, opening the heart. One more time at your own pace. Find any intuitive movement that your body calls you to visit. And moving with your breath. Now I wish to come to I'm going to wag my tail first. So here I am at tabletop. Let's do thread the needle again, but we're going to be right here. Extend your right leg to the side so it's directly away, out from my knee. And here I am. I'm going to glide my left hand under me and then I sink to the floor. So it's kind of like a double situation. Melting down, and I have my spider fingers on there. If this is too much for your knee, there's too much pressure that doesn't feel good, you can stay up here, not sinking your hips down. Experiment with both. I actually find this to be a little bit more in opening in my body today. And next inhale, coming up, switching sides, extending the left leg to the side and taking that right arm and gliding it down. Maybe the left arm reaches over, staying up here, or if it's inviting to you, maybe you sink down, adjusting, modifying where you need to be today, appreciating the messages that our bodies give us. And I'm going to come up here. I found this more soft. And the next inhale brings you up. Lovely. All right, from here, let's
extend our right leg back, a little calf stretch here. Maybe you rock forward and back a little bit. Try seeing where there are tightnesses in the back line of your leg and also your spine. And then bring that foot down or knee down and extend the left leg. Do the same thing. Maybe you wiggle your hips a little bit, experimenting, kind of like trying to get the lay of the land. And then bring that down. Extend the right, then extend the left, and find yourself in a plank position. Now, the same thing, but think about how you are putting your weight on your hands. Spread those fingers. Maybe you shift forward and back. We're trying to sort of create a little bit of heat here so that we warm ourselves up. And then hold on to your core, engage your core very well as we come to our forearms, finding our forearm plank, long, tall spine. Tuck your chin slightly, chin slightly, so that the back of your neck can be long. And again, if it feels good, you might rock back and forth and keep breathing. And from there, gently place your knees on the floor, belly on the floor. Open your legs a little bit wider. Feel the pubic bone on the floor. Feel the tops of your feet on the floor as you open to a lovely Sphinx pose. Breathing deeply. Think about pulling your elbows, hands towards your body, opening your heart, and keeping the back of your head long, especially the neck, so that we don't collapse into the cervical spine. And from here, turn your left hand a little bit in, so it's like a 45-degree angle, and then we're going to flip to your side, pushing into your side like a little mermaid or some kind of seal creature. I stack my feet, stay here, or come up to your hand. What we're trying to find is a left side body stretch. Connect to your center line. Make sure that your ribs are closing in. You might even feel like you want to move a little bit here, maybe looking back, looking forward. Any movement that helps you open that side body. Then come to your forearm again. Come through your Sphinx pose, maybe turning that hand again, and go to the left side. Now here I am stacking my feet, and I wish to come a little bit higher up. And notice that I'm not really sinking into my shoulder, but you can play with that. I mean, there's a little bit extra stretch here if I let my shoulder ride up. But if you keep the shoulder down, then it's easier for you to do a little bit of a movement forward, a little bit of movement back, kind of moving through the gaze. And from there, one more deep breath in, and then gently come back to your Sphinx and lower your body down. Opening your legs, maybe as wide as your mat. Bring the tips of your fingers to the sides, comfortably sides. And we're going to do 3 cobras in a different manner than usual. So we're just going to gently lift up our feet as well as our upper body with an inhale. And these are sort of like props. They're sort of just like they're supporting me, but I'm not really pushing into them. And then we exhale down. Inhaling long thoughts, exhaling down. Inhaling, reaching the head and the toes away from your center. Exhaling down. One more time. Inhaling up and away. And maybe it's just a small hover. That's absolutely fine. And now we're going to extend those arms as we inhale. Exhale, bring your arms towards the front of your mat. And inhale, bring your hands to the sides again and staying here, hovering. Exhaling, bringing the fingers towards the front of your mat. One more time, inhaling, filling the lungs, and exhaling. And then gently come down, place one hand over the other, forehead rests. Maybe you bend the knees and do a little windshield wiper here. Little bit of warmth for the back body. Lovely. Okay, extending those legs. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Find your plank pose. Here we are again in our plank pose. And now I wish us to sort of like, we're going to prepare for downward facing dog, but we're going to do so from a very bent leg situation. So I'm bending my knees. I'm pushing my weight towards my feet. I'm on my toes. And from there, I'm going to just come back to the plank pose. Inhale. Now exhale. Find that sort of like preparatory downward facing dog again. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, move back. 2 more times. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. And from here, note if you need to walk your hands back a little bit, wherever you are, we're getting ready to lift that tail up where it wants to go today. So inhaling, just lengthening the tail up to our downward facing dog. Maybe you walk the feet a little bit. Maybe the heels do not touch the floor. That's an option really at this point. We're sort of warming and opening the body. Now gently inhale, float your right heel up towards the sky. Now I'm going to invite you to open your hips sideways and bend that leg. Feeling that lovely opening in the front of my right hip. My hands stay where they are. I'm trying not to twist with my torso. It's just my leg that is exploring the space behind my back really. From there, extend it long. Turn the hips facing down and glide that foot down. Let's do the other side. 3-legged dog. Heel floats up. Now opening that hip and bending that knee. Heel comes down. Maybe you let it shake a little bit or bounce more than shake. Trying to keep the upper body where it was. And then extending the foot up. Now turning the hips, facing the floor and floating that leg up, down. Lovely. Inhale, float the right knee up, right heel up. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose as you shift your weight forward. Inhale, reach the heel up. Exhale, bring it to the outside of your right arm. Inhale, reach the heel up. Exhale, bring it towards your left elbow. Inhale, float the leg up. Exhale, bring the knee towards your nose. And now step that foot forward and find your low lunge. Coming up. Now I need to move a little further back. Here I am in my low lunge. Good. Lovely. Don't sink too deep into it. Connect to your center line. Support your back. Lifting up. Lovely. And from there, just come and frame your foot. And what we're going to do is just very gently reach this front arm, right arm in front of you. Keep reaching to the space behind you and create a twist in your upper body that is diagonal in the space with your spine. If it is available for you, bend your knee, and if that foot comes to your hand, find a little quad stretch here. Now with this quad stretch, think about your left shoulder opening your heart, opening your shoulder as well as the front of your hip, and stretching the quad. Gently let go and bring that arm back to frame the foot. Tuck the toes under, and we're gonna shift weight forward and find your pyramid. All toes pointing towards the top of your mat, parallel feet. If it feels inviting to you, lift up your right toes and place them down long. Inhale, lift those toes up. Exhale, place them down. Inhale them up. Exhale them down. And now we're going to gently bend into that knee. And we're just going to come to our standing split. So maybe you place your hands a little bit wider, shift your weight to your right foot, and just lift that left leg wherever it wants to go today. Breathing in this inversion. And then gently place that foot back down. Find your runner's lunge. And then step to your downward facing dog. Let's do the left side. Left heel floats up. Inhale, exhale. Bring your knee towards your nose, rounding the upper body. Inhale the leg up. Exhaling, knee towards the outside of your left elbow. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, knee towards your right elbow. Inhaling up. Exhale, bring the knee to your nose one more time and then step that foot through and find your low lunge. Here I am. Pulling into my navel, in and up. I'm kind of lifting off the floor a little bit with my front leg so that I'm not collapsing into this. That protects my lower back, my sacrum area. And from there, I'll come frame that foot. Do any housekeeping you might need to do to be more comfortable here. And then we're going to reach the left arm forward. Keep reaching behind you. Go further and see that, observe that lovely stress twist in your upper body. When your arm is behind you, you are invited to bend your knee and maybe you find your toes, maybe not. And then just opening the heart, tuck the chin slightly so the back of your head can be long. Feel the spots that connect to earth and let those soften as you open your heart and your shoulder. And then gently let go. Bring that arm the same way it came. And now we're going to tuck our toes under, shift the weight forward, find your parallel pyramid. Option to lift your toes up. Exhale, bring the toes down. Inhale your toes up. Exhale your toes down. Inhale your toes up. Exhale your toes down. Take a deep breath in here. And then we're going to bend into that knee, that front knee, my left knee, maybe opening the arms so that you have a little bit more support and find your standing split, wherever that is today. And my two sides are very different from each other. That's very usual. We are not symmetrical creatures after all. There's a lot of differences between the two sides, and just noting those is more it's more information and more empowerment for you. Then bend into the left knee, gently come down, find your runner's lunge, step to your downward facing dog. Now start walking your dog forward. Small steps, baby steps. Maybe you come all the way to the tops of your toes as you walk forward. Your feet meeting your hands. And here we are in a forward fold, a little ragdoll. If it's inviting to you, hold on to the elbows. And now I really ask you to think about moving your belly up and away from your hips. Sounds a little strange. Try that with bent knees. Pull your navel in and up and try to reach your body a little further along on your thighs. And maybe from that place you try to extend the knees. My knees are going to stay bent for now. That's just where I am today. And then let go of the arms if you were holding on to them. And we're going to generously bend our knees, push into your heels, start rolling up, all the way up, coming up to standing. Whew. And I need to do a little bit of housekeeping here. Standing, standing. Find your mountain pose. Breathe in and out. Bring your hands to your heart and just breathe in and out. Lovely. I need to take a step forward so you can see me, but I'm assuming that you were at the top of your mat. And now I'm going to do a little housekeeping this way. Ha. I think that's a lot better. Yes. Now we are up. So at the top of your mat, I'm going to do a little housekeeping on my shirt here so you can see me a little bit better. Find your feet under your hips. Maybe you shift forward and back a little bit. Pull your navel in and up and sit down in your chair. Lovely. Breathe your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to the right like you're sweeping them. Keep your gaze forward. Inhale, bring the arms up again. Exhale, bringing the hands, sweeping them to the left, keeping the gaze forward. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, look to the right as you sweep the arms. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, look to the left as you sweep the arms. Inhale up. Now just gentle, gentle, gentle. Hold. Breathe here. Do any housekeeping that you feel like you need to do. And then forward fold again. Halfway lift with an inhale. Tall back. Tuck your chin down so that you don't collapse in your center line. Exhale down. Step your left foot to a runner's lunge. Breathe your arms up. Connect to your center line. Lovely. Inhale, maybe you even look up before you frame that foot again. And we open to easy twist. But today, let's build the easy twist by having the hand and front foot as your front counterparts. Bring the right hand to your hip crease. Turn open the shoulder. Then you look up. And maybe then you extend that arm. Lovely. Breathe there. And then with an exhale, bring the arm down. Inhale, come back up, balancing right there. And now we're just going to shift, bring our hands to our heart center. Shift our weight forward and find your warrior three. I'm balancing. I have a hard time looking at the camera at the same time as I'm doing this. I'm going to engage my center line. Really feel that back heel floating back. And from there, just gently let your upper body come back to that standing split. And then bring your foot to meet the other, rolling the spine slowly all the way up. Lovely. From there, inhale and exhale, find your chair. Now we're going to exhale and bring the arms to the left. Keep the gaze forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sweep them to the right. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale, look to the left as you sweep the arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sweep to the right. Inhale, find your chair. Pull your navel in and up. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Tuck that chin, long back of the head. Exhale, forward fold. Take your right step and step to a high lunge. Reaching the arms up. Connecting to the center line, pulling the navel in and up. Maybe the back leg bends a little. Play with that. Maybe that bending the back leg can take a little bit of pressure off your sacrum, your lower back area. And from there, lifting up, looking up with your gaze, with your chest. Exhale, bring your hands to frame your foot. I need to wiggle my foot a little further down. We're going to find our easy twist, placing the left hand in my hip crease, elbow to the sky. I'm going to open the torso to the left. Then the gaze follows, and maybe the arm extends overhead. Breathing into this twist. And from there, exhale, bring that hand down. And now we're going to sweep the hands up, trying to stay in balance. And bring your hands to your heart. We're going to shift forward. Oh, I was in a deep place. And then find your warrior three. There we are, trying to connect to a center line, letting the back top of my head and my heel reach away from my center, just like we did when we were laying down on the belly and lifting up. And then gently letting the upper body come down. And then folding that right foot to meet the left. Hang there for a moment, bending the knees generously, pushing to your whole foot. Really feel your feet on the floor as you roll and come up. Lovely. Okay. I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. I'm going to bring my mat a little closer to you, and I'm actually going to take my shirt off, and I will check my time. Oh, great. Here we are. Find your, I'm going to see that you can see me. Find your wide-legged stance on your mat. Here I am. One way to find it is to have the wrist on top of your ankles-ish. Okay, here I am. I'm going to reach my right arm over me, bend the elbow, close my ribs, and gently pull on my right elbow. So basically what I'm doing here is a tricep stretch for my right arm. Finding that in that stance. Holding on to your center line, tucking your chin down a little bit. Inhale, and as you exhale, hinge at the hips and find a flat back, 90 degrees, and inhale your way up. Now opening the arms, lift up your right toes and turn them towards the right end of your mat. Bend into your right knee. Note that I need to turn my back heel out a little bit more. Find where you need to be in your warrior two. You might be open in the hips and be all the way here, or feel free to explore bringing those toes in just a little bit toward the end of your mat, and then opening the steady warrior on top. Lovely. Now, place your right arm on your right thigh and find a long line from your heel to the top of your fingers. Maybe you sink a little bit deeper today to your extended side angle, opening that left shoulder, trying to open deep, reaching away from that center, just like we did in Warrior 3. And from there, exhale, look down, circle that arm down, and come to your Warrior 2. Now inhale, extend the knee, bring your hands to your hips. If you feel like you're gliding a little bit too much out, bring your feet a little bit closer together. We are going to do the triangle without arms. So shifting your hips, because we are going to create this diagonal space with our spine. Just stay there where you are with your hands. So we're not dumping into anything. I'm engaging my legs, lifting up my kneecaps, and I'm staying here strong in my core. If it is available to you, maybe you extend that bottom arm, and I'm not even going to dump into it. I'm going to let the back of my hand support itself to my lower leg. And breathe. And then push into your big toe. Lovely. And bring those toes on the right back towards the center. And now just bend in your knees, bend, looking up with your chest, ripple down, all the way down, extending those legs in a wide-legged forward fold. Do any housekeeping that invites you to be present. Maybe you shift your weight a little bit. Maybe you turn your heels a little wider than your toes. Take a couple deep breaths there. You can even play with the weight, whether it's towards your heels or whether it's towards your toes. And then find middle. Bring your hands to your hips. Engage the tops of your kneecaps. Inhale, come halfway to a flat back. Well, we were here before with the triceps stretch. Pausing there. Inhale, tuck your chin, long back, coming up all the way. Lovely. Left arm reaches overhead, bending the elbow. Right arm gently pushes that elbow towards the back space. Let your shoulders come down, creating a lot of space for your ears, closing those ribs, thinking of really supporting yourself in your front line, in your center line in the front. Inhaling, maybe you lift up the chest a little bit. Exhaling, come to a flat back. Pause here. And then with your next exhale, push into your feet and come back up. Lifting up the left toes toward the end of your left side of your mat. Opening the arms, sink into your warrior two. Again, I need to do a little bit of housekeeping with my backside. And then opening the strong, beautiful upper body on top of that very steady, powerful stance. Breathing here. And now we're going to place the left hand on the thigh, reaching the right arm overhead, finding that long side body stretch. If it's available for you, my new favorite is to wrap around my ankle so that I'm not dumping into it, and finding that length in the spine, diagonal line in space. Breathing here, really trying to open that shoulder, connecting to the center line. A lot of action right here. Now inhale, reach that arm overhead and come to your warrior two. And then come to your hands on your hip, preparing for the triangle without arms. So I'm shifting my weight, and I'm sort of like, it's almost like I'm trying to look to the right. Finding that torso in one line, engaging the legs, having the support of the legs, by really feeling the big toes as well as the big pinky toes, and then engaging the kneecaps. Now, if it's available for you, the back of the hand can rest against the shin or lower leg. And maybe you can open, as you push into that, you can open that chest a little bit more. Gaze can stay here. Gaze can look down. Look down or look up, wherever you need to be right now. And then gently come up all the way up. Find your feet parallel to the long edge of your mat. And to now, right this time, turn your heels out a little bit more than your toes. So some people call this pigeon toes, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a pigeon with toes like that. Anyhow, lifting up your chest. And then with an exhale, hinging at the hips, come yet again to your forward fold. Maybe you bend your knees a little bit and straighten them. Maybe you go to one side, then to the other side. When you are ready, find a little bit of stillness here, letting your upper body hang towards the earth. Feel the gravity pull you further deeper into your wide-legged forward fold. And then gently place your hands on your hips. We're going to come up with a flat back. So inhale, float you to halfway. Pause here and exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Lovely. Now let's come to the center of your mat. We're going to do a little bit of balancing. I'm going to move myself this way so you can see me. Shift your weight to the right. Standing on one leg, just bend the left knee. Take a hold of the left knee if it's available to you behind you. You can hold on to it from the inside. I'm kind of having a hard time standing on my feet today. From the inside, that I feel like that's one of the sturdiest way. You could do it from the outside, but I do invite you to hold on to it from the inside, because that creates an external rotation in your upper arm. Here we are. Let's balance ourselves with that right hand in front of you. Bring your knees to touch first and feel that upper arm rotating on the left shoulder. And now gently push into, I need to be in this orientation so you can actually see me. Gently push into your hand with your foot. And as you inhale, reach the arm up. And then float the arm down as you bring the knee down a little bit. Let's do that a couple more times. So like a dynamic stretch. Reaching up, exploring the back with your leg, exhaling, bringing it down. One more time. Inhaling, reaching up. And now just stay here. Feel how your knee drops down. So the hip is not opening, but the shoulder is very much opening in the chest area here. Reaching up. Lovely. And then just bring the knees together. Hands at the heart. Bring your knee in front of you, balancing on one foot. Cross the leg and sit down in your standing pigeon. Really feeling my seat reaching far behind me. I'm gently pushing into my hands, so I'm creating assistance in my center line. And I'm wobbling. That's okay. That's okay. And from there, take a hold of your foot if that is available to you, and then find your tree from there. And now, your tree could be, your foot could be on your lower leg or on your upper leg. Reaching the arms overhead wherever you want them to be. But now the challenge is start looking around you. Challenge your balance by not fixing your gaze. So here I am. It's really hard to look down and it's really hard to look up, especially if you keep going. So trying to sort of like travel with your gaze, like your nose is turning all around to challenge your balance. Wobbling is great. And then bring your hands to your heart. Gently let go of that foot and find both feet on the floor. Maybe you walk a little bit. Releasing, maybe you shake a little bit. I'm turning this way so you can see me a little bit better. And I'm actually going to go back a little bit so you can see my upper arm here. Here I am, shifting my weight to the left, bending the right knee, getting a hold of the foot from the inside of my ankle. That creates that lovely external rotation on my upper arm. And my knees come together and I extend my left arm in front of me. And now I really need to splay my toes on the floor. That's my contact to the earth right now. Big roots with your toes. Inhale, gently glide your arm up and reach in or kick into your hand with your foot. Exhale, bring the knee down, arm down. Inhaling up, lengthening, exhaling, come back. 2 more times, inhaling up, exhaling down. 1 more time, inhaling up. And now I really need to bring my knee down so that I don't have any tension in my lower back. And there I'm going to stay, kick into my foot, open that shoulder, reaching up with the left hand, and then gently letting go, hands to the heart, bring the knee towards your chest, and open to your standing pigeon. Gently pushing into your hands, pulling your navel in and up, reaching your seat behind you. There I am, balancing. And then gently, if it's available for you, hold on to that foot and guide it to your tree. Extending the arms and find your wondering eyes. Looking everywhere. Really, we're doing this to make ourselves wobble. Looking up and down, not worrying about the form, more about the action of finding groundedness and also letting the upper body be as free as possible. Notice how your center line needs to stay active. And then hands up to your heart. Gently bring your foot down and do a little wiggle. Lovely. All right, we are going to head back to the floor now. So coming on your mat, come to the middle of your mat, whether you're lengthwise or facing the short end of your mat. Just let's find our flow, inhaling arms up, reaching up with your fingers, exhaling, hinging at the hips. Bring your chin towards your chest and with a long back, come to your forward fold. Now lift halfway up and start heel-toeing your feet open in preparation for Malasana. So heels in, toes out, and then gently sink into your hips, finding your yogi squat. Now, first what we're going to do, I'm going to push into my right knee with my right elbow, and I'm going to reach my left arm up. And to the diagonal, far away, and then come back center. Let's do it to the other side. Left elbow pushes into the left knee, reaching the arm up, right arm up, reaching it to the diagonal, bringing it down. Now come back here towards the right side and now reach the right arm up as you push the left hand to your left heel and come to the center. So we're kind of approaching this yogi squat a different way. Hand on the left hand side reaches up as I'm pushing into my right knee with my right hand and come to center. And now see if you can sink a little bit deeper into your hips. Sometimes we have to court the hips in the yogi squat a little bit before they come to the deepest expression or deeper expression. And from there, gently place your hands on the floor, shift your weight to your hands, and fold your legs under you. Now we're going to do a half butterfly to begin with. Oh, I'm all over the place with my mat today. Please excuse me. So bring your right knee as close to your seat, your right heel as close to the seat as possible. And then open it to the side. The sole of the foot relaxes against the left leg. Toe back reaches up. Exhale, reach forward as far as you can, and then round down. Toes are facing the sky, and I'm rounding everything. Breathing depth. Breathing energy and softness to my body. Creating space for my shoulders, not letting my shoulders come up to the sky and towards my ears, but just letting them melt down. And then with an inhale, rolling up, bring that right knee back up. Extend the leg. Left leg as close to you as possible. And from that place, you open it and the foot connects to the inside of your leg. Reaching arms overhead, falling forward as long as you can, and gently round the spine, toes pointing to the ceiling. Creating space for your shoulders, softening, melting, lengthening the back of the head and the neck. And from here, exhaling and let the inhale bring you up to sitting. Bring that right knee, left knee in, fold the right knee to meet the other. So here I am like a little ball, okay? From this little ball, I want to try this. Again, give me comments in the chat section if possible, if you're live streaming. Inhaling here. As you exhale, extend. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't extend anywhere. Just go towards the back of your sacrum. So we came from feet down to feet off the floor. And now we inhale, filling the lungs, and then exhale, find your boat. Whatever expression is available for you today. Inhale. Find that long spine, legs folded. Exhale, find your boat. One more time. Inhaling. Exhaling, finding that length. Lovely. Drop the boat a little lower. Drop the boat even further. And hold it for a moment. And gently come to the floor. Now, please push yourself to your belly. Here I am. I need to move again so you can see me better. Here we are. On your belly. Extend your right arm to the side. It's about 90 degrees here. So we're going to do a lovely chest opening here. So bring your toes tucked under so you have a little bit of control there. And the left hand comes under your shoulder. Push into your left hand and come to your side. A little bit like we did with those mermaids in the very beginning of the class. And here, placing my right ear to the floor. Invitation is to bend your knees in front of you. And now look for the right space for your arm. Maybe you want to wiggle your arm a little bit one way or the other, where you find that lovely juicy spot. Option to reach your hand behind you and place the back of the hand on your sacrum, on your lower back. And breathe, relax into this. Now, there's another added little thing that you might wish to play with. So, taking your left leg, rooting down with your right, I'm reaching my left leg behind me, bending the knee, touching the toes to the floor, and reaching those toes away from my body. Now I'm getting a little bit of a front hip opener in the front of my left hip. And then coming back in. Releasing the left hand if it was on your lower back, and gently find your way back to the belly. Let's do the other side. Extending the left arm to the side. Find the right angle that feels inviting to you. Right hand under, toes tucked under, and pushing to your side, melting in. I like to bend my knees here, one leg over the other. And then I'm kind of wiggle my left arm a little bit just to see where that is the most comfortable today. Maybe you take the right arm and maybe the back of the hand comes to your lower back. And if that's not inviting, it's welcome to stay here as well. It's a pretty intense stretch. And now you just melt into the floor. If you wish to experiment, this is really an exploration more than anything. You may extend the right leg, bend the knee a little bit behind you, place the toes on the floor, and reach those toes away from you. And now I'm opening the front of the hip a little bit. This is really an exploration in your body. This feels extremely yummy to me, but you always must listen to your own body's messages. I rarely use the word must, but with listening to our bodies, I think it's a must. And then gently bending into the knee if that was extended, legs together, letting go of the top arm if it was up, and then finding your way to the belly again. Now let's just find one final bow pose, one more back bend for us. Bending the knees, bringing the heels towards your seat, holding on to the feet from the outside this time. As we did the dancer pose, we held on from the inside. Now we want to hold on to from the outside. And now really bring that chin down. I'm going to inhale, push into my hands, but I'm really going to keep my gaze down this time so that I'm not collapsing in my cervical spine. And breathe here. If you want to go a little wilder, keep kicking into those feet, but I'm really trying to keep my feet more together than apart. And then gently place them down. You now push into your hands and come through tabletop. We're going to do one more child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch, sink in your hips, and forward fold. And take a couple of deep breaths and feel how you are feeling in your body in this moment. And if you wish, you might even compare it to the sensations that your body had in the beginning of the class. And notice if there's any opening, there's anything that you felt like called to you in the beginning of the class. If those things or wishes or hopes or anything that you had in your mind have materialized in this moment during this practice. With your next inhale, bring your hands under you, turn to your side, and we're going to lay down on our backs. reaching down all the way, finding space in your body. And before we find our Shavasana, bring your knees to your chest and gently rock side to side. Maybe you find a little circles there. If you did circles, make sure that you explore reversing those circles. Maybe one final squeeze, lifting the head up. Smallest version of yourself, a small expression of you. And then finding that length in your Shavasana. Opening the legs a little bit away from each other. Opening the arms if that feels comfortable for you. As always, you have the option of finding constructed rest, which would be bending your legs and letting your knees fall in. Wherever you need to be towards the end of this class, feel the back of your head heavy. Let it sink to the floor. Now gently take your left shoulder and roll it under to the floor and let go. Do the right shoulder, push the top of the shoulder to the floor and then let go. Try to relax your shoulders as much as possible, feeling the heavy weight of your upper arm, elbow, lower arm, and hand. Now soften your belly, soften your hips. You might move your hips, pushing one hip to the floor, other hip to the floor, just a little adjustments there, and then letting go of everything. Now gently flex your left foot and let go of it. Flex your right foot and let go. Trying to find as much softness, relaxation, and just being in your body. Each one of us is a unique expression of life. And as you close your eyes, if that feels comfortable for you, try to really sink into this moment of being, softening into the center of you. For the next few moments, enjoy the stillness and quietness. And momentarily, I will guide you out of this Shavasana. Now rest. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Maybe you exaggerate one inhale and exaggerate an exhale. Do that again if that feels inviting. Maybe exhaling with a sigh. And then finding a little movement in your fingers, in your toes, letting the head roll one side to the other. And when you feel ready, gently push yourself to one side and find a little fetal pose. Resting there for a moment. And again, when you feel ready, let your hands help you come up, push yourself up, finding a comfortable seated pose, however that looks to you, whether that's sitting, cross legged, kneeling. Bring your hands to your heart in any way you wish. Taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bow your head a little bit. Taking a moment to honor this practice, this time spent together, this commitment and dedication that we have to our bodies, to our practice, to our well being. Feeling the life under your hands. Thank you for letting me guide you through this practice. I hope it brought you joy. It is my honor and privilege to do these classes with you. Thank you for staying with me, and I wish you a wonderful, most wonderful day. Thank you. I wish you all the best.